Hey everyone, we have another Gearhead Grind Garage daily DIY video here. Today we're going to be replacing motor mounts on a 2005 Ford Focus. Super exciting job on the old daily driver that we just won't let die. So, first of all, we have the 3 motor mounts here. These were purchased off Amazon. Pretty easy to find. You can also find them on eBay or whatever. Super affordable. I think it's like $45-ish or so for all 3 of them. I have them in order here that we're going to do them, starting with this one on the left hand side. It is right there under the coolant reservoir. We have this one that goes on the back right side of the engine, right under there. Should be a picture of it as well. And then this last one lives right here under the battery box. For motor mounts, this is a pretty easy job. Basically, I just have the car up, lift it a little bit, make it a little bit easier to get underneath. And we're going to take this jack with a piece of wood on it, and we're going to go ahead and put it down here under the car, right over here, and we're going to support the motor. So you can use 2 jacks, because first motor mount is over here, so we want to support that side. But I'm just going to try putting it over here, because I know when we remove this motor mount, we're going to need to jack that up a little bit in order to be able to slide it out. So I'm just going to start off putting my jack in a pretty neutral spot there, in order to hold the motor up and kind of center it. And because I have a large floor jack, I'm not relying on stability of a scissor jack here. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, I'm going to remove the coolant reservoir. Pretty simple. We have a 10mm bolt right here, and then a little tab in the back. Basically, you just need to put a flathead screwdriver or other pry bar material in here and pry this away, and it basically the whole reservoir slides this way and comes off, and then you can just kind of set it to the side and go ahead and access that motor mount. Let me go ahead and do that, and then I'll come right back. Alright, so first step to remove this coolant reservoir tank, we want to go ahead and pull the 10mm head bolt that's here. And then on the back side, there's this little tab. So it's going to be hard to show it, but there's actually a tab that sticks off right here. So what I did is I took a chisel punch like this, put it at an angle, and then gave it a few taps to basically knock that pin in. And that should allow us to basically pull that up. Yep, that's the first time I've done it. So that allows us to pull that up and release this, and then we can basically just pick this guy up and move it out of our way. Like that. And now once we get in here, we can see we have 2 bolts at the top, and then there's one down there, one there, and then a third one right here. So we're going to go ahead and remove these bottom 3 bolts. Excuse the bus going by. I believe they are 13mm, and then we'll remove the top 2 ones, and this assembly should just come out. Make sure before you remove this assembly, get a jack underneath this motor to hold it up. You should not like jack the car up with the motor, but just enough to relieve the pressure from this mount, so that way you can pull it up and then get that out of there without the motor wanting to fall and without it fighting you the whole time. Alright, so one way to tell the correct amount to jack up the motor, so I put it right here in the bottom, basically the lowest point there at the bottom of the engine. And then up here, so you can see the motor. I basically pulled the bottom 3 bolts in here from the bottom of the motor mount, and I loosened the top 2. You can see the impact on it right now still. So I loosened those top 2. Let's take a look from this angle. So you see how the motor is slightly tilted to the left. If we just jack this up a little bit, hopefully I can do it without moving the camera, you'll see the motor come up just a little bit. So we want to just put enough pressure where the motor lifts. We can see that these bolts, basically if it was too low, there wouldn't be any thread showing. It would be down against these nuts here. So you can tell we're holding it up just enough. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that entire motor mount, and then we'll get it switched out. Alright, so we have the motor mount out. So what we want to do is flip this guy over. You can see we have our new one here, and on the back side it basically has a 90-degree angle on one side, and then it's just flat on the other. So here you can see we have our angle, but then this side, the flat part's been hammered over. So what we need to do is straighten out this side, which I'm going to do with a pry bar basically, and may have to use a punch or whatever. So we don't want to damage this housing, of course, but as far as damaging this other one, it doesn't really matter. So you can cut this off or do whatever you want, but basically we have to release the grip of this mount. And then what we'll do is we'll take our new one that slides in there. You want to make sure that this face is flush with this face here. And then as you can see here, we basically need to hammer over this side of the mount so that it grips this little centerpiece here, and then we can even hammer over this one just to make sure it has a full grip on here. For now, I'm going to work on opening these little guys up, and so I can slide this mount out of the way. Alright, so that actually took all of like 20 seconds, so I just hammered that open. So this new one we're going to want to put in here like this, so it fits in. You can see this little tab here, so it basically slides in here through that tab, and you want to make sure to push it all the way in so it should line up there. So as I mentioned, this face should become flush with this face, and so I can't do it with one hand, but you'll just want to work that guy in, and then we'll basically just hammer over these tabs. Easy peasy. Alright, so we got the new mount in place. I went ahead and tightened both of these bolts at the top. Those were 19mm nuts, I should say. Actually, one came out. It was a stud, and the whole stud came out. But they're 19mm, and then we take these 15mm ones and don't tighten them, but put them in, thread them a good amount of the way in, but leave some play and basically fit my finger under them. The reason we want to do that is we're actually going to jack up the other side of the engine slightly to relieve the tension on the second mount that we're going to do, which is this mount here. So for that one, we're going to have to go under the car now and start our progress down there. But having this be tight, so tightening the top and leaving the bottom, should allow us to basically undo the jack underneath and relieve the tension from this side of the motor, because I'm going to put it over and work on the other side now. All right, so I'm under the car now. This is the back of the motor. So I basically put the jack on this point of the motor where it connects to the transmission here. And you can see that mount lines up just as this one is sitting now. So all we have to do, there's a welded on nut on this side. So we just get to the back side and go ahead and pull this bolt out, and then go ahead and pull this bolt. So I'm just going to get an impact on both of those, pull them out. Of course, make sure that this jack is in place and it prevents the motor from dropping on you at all. I mean, it's not going to drop, but it may move a little bit. So, you know, we want to make sure we're well supported here. Of course, have the car up on jack stands, or I have them on these ramps before you start doing anything under the car. But should just be 2 bolts. And then we may have to jack up the car a little bit in order to provide some space for this one to pivot down and then slide out this way. All right, let me go ahead and do that now. I need to put the phone down because I only have one hand to work with, and then I'll be right back. So in order to get the bottom, the second motor mount I mentioned out, we're actually going to go ahead and loosen this one so it allows me to get the motor a little bit higher up, and then I can pull that out. So to do so, we need to go ahead and open up this battery cover. Go ahead and pull this cover off, get it out of here. We're going to go ahead and disconnect the battery, get it out, and then there's a couple bolts that hold this tray in, and once we remove the tray, we should be able to get to the other mount. Here's the inside of the battery tray. You can see corrosion does hang out down here. We have 2 13mm bolts here, and then a third one right there. Once we get those all pulled, we should be able to just get this tray out of here and then access that motor mount. Okay, battery tray is out, and you can see underneath it we have the other motor mount. So if we look at the brand new one here, you can see it's the same thing. Got the 4 bolts on the outside perimeter and then 1 in the middle. So these 4 are all 15mm bolts, and then this interior one is a 13/16. I already have the bottom of the motor supported, so I'm going to go ahead and pull all of these and leave them loose for now, see if I can jack up the motor a little bit, and then go under and change that bottom motor mount, and then I'll come back and replace this new one with the old one. One note about the old motor mount is you can actually see where it's broken in there. The 2 membranes have disconnected from each other, and then there are little stress fractures and the dry rot in between there. Those are supposed to exist right there. Those are cutouts. Yeah, you can see why this motor mount was not behaving so well. Let's take a look at the other one. This one not as obvious, but clearly worn. Around there you can see, so it may actually be broken all the way through. You can probably see a little bit of movement there. But yeah, definitely past their usable life. So here we are under the car. You can see I have it jacked up right here as close to this mount as possible. So basically I want to continue going up a little bit because we need to be able to get this guy out of here, and we're pretty dang close. But I just need a little bit more room to work with. So you can see if I jack this up a little bit, now that that top motor mount's out, I'm actually pumping it with my leg. But this gives us a little bit more room to work here. There we go. See it kind of move out of the way there. And that should, ooh, I mean, I'm working with one hand right now, but I will be able to get that out no problem now. I can actually go up a little bit more most likely and then be able to pull that out and slide in the new one immediately after. So just like that, give it enough room. This one comes out, grab my new one. Both sides seem to be the same. Go ahead and slide that new one in here. And then we want to get it lined up, so that way when I release this down, this should just slide into place up in there, and we can get it all bolted in. So a couple things to note is that, I'm trying to hunt and peck for the other bolt. We have the two bolts here. They are slightly different lengths. So the shorter one, this one, is the one that goes in this, in this bottom hole here. And then the longer one is the one that goes through here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this one started. I'm not gonna be able to do it with one hand here. I'm gonna go ahead and get that one started, get this aligned, and then start slowly lowering down the car. And once I have it aligned, I'm gonna go ahead and put that other one through the backside here, up in this area, and get it through. And then snug them all up. And then I'm gonna go up top and finish the other motor mount. All right, the lower motor mount is in. Went ahead and replaced these three bolts up here on the battery tray here. I had already tightened down the 13/16 and the 4 15mm bolts on the other motor mount. That's all back in. Then we're gonna go ahead and put the battery back in. I have it over here on the side. We're gonna put that bad boy back in. These are 10mm bolts on the battery. Make sure to snug them down. You have the battery part. This is a good time to put some of that anti-corrosion stuff on your battery terminals to make sure they do not corrode. Then of course, make sure to come back over here, torque these other three bolts down that we have here, the 15mm ones, because they should still be loose. And we want to go ahead and slide this guy back in place. Should go on this tab. This is actually a good time to kind of hit this tab a little bit to pull this pin back out, so that way it locks in place. And then go ahead and replace the 10mm bolt that goes in here. Get that water tank all back in, and then we should be able to start the car up and make sure the vibrations have gone away.